So good evening and a warm welcome to the Refreshing Views Observatory, and we've got a planetary parade tonight, a planetary plenitude. We've got Saturn as dusk falls, we're then going to go on to Jupiter, swing around to Neptune, Uranus, we might do Ceres, which is a dwarf planet, and then the moon. So yeah, so it's going to be a good night. Right, I'll go and set the kit up. And I've just realised, of course, Venus is somewhere very low down, very low over the trees. If we had a better horizon here, we might be able to see it low down. But so while waiting for it to get properly dark, I thought I'd quickly talk you through the camera end of the Celestron C11. So I've got a dew shield at the front, which you saw me put on earlier. I've got the heat blanket that hopefully stops all those cold air currents coming down the tube as it cools. I've then put on the other end, down at this end, a Crayford aftermarket focuser. This is just the Skywatcher version. And that allows me to have fine focus control. I've then got a Barlow, and I've unscrewed the Barlow lens and put it on the end of the ADC. So let me take that out. So that's a Tau Russian Barlow, 2x Barlow, and rather than have a Barlow there, then the ADC, then the flip mirror, then the camera, that's a ridiculous amount of focal length. So I've just put the 2x Barlow on. So I've got the ×2 Barlow, then the atmospheric dispersion corrector, that corrects for the red and blue of the atmosphere. I've got a flip mirror, just a cheap one off eBay I think it was, just to help me get the planets in the eyepiece. If I can see it in the eyepiece, you then flick the lever. So when you're trying to get these small planetary discs onto the chip, you can get it centered in the eyepiece, lift the mirror out of the way, and then the light goes straight through to the chip. So apologies for the lens misting up, I've completely forgot to put my dew heaters on. Right, Saturn's now cleared the tree. I was going to line up in the... There we go. So there we got Saturn in the field of view. Let's get that nicely centered. There we go. Right, so we are all recording. Right, so we've got Saturn in the eyepiece. Dew heaters are on, so that mist should start disappearing. And I flick the switch. There she is. Oh, there it is. There we have a Saturn. Oh, that's better. Right, so you can see the red-blue fringing there, so we have to get rid of that. Let's get that. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to adjust the ADC, and the annoying thing is the ADC makes Saturn move. So as you move this, you have to then adjust where Saturn's pointing. There she comes again. So you can see there, just by twiddling those knobs, the red and the blue have nearly gone. We're going to have to refocus in a sec. You can use this, and that provides that really saturated colour view. Let's try that's a little bit low. Saturn's so low now, particularly as it starts setting. Let's get that back into the centre of the field of view. So you can see there the red and the white. Let's try a little bit more. So I'm keeping them equal and opposite. That's a little bit better. So that red and the blue circles are slowly turning into white. Oh, that's not too bad, is it? Oops, wrong way. And you can see there the fringing on the planet in that colour enhanced view. So I'm just looking by eye. Adjust. Cool, I think that's there. Looking at there's no red blue, so let's turn that off. Let's adjust our focus again. Turn that off. Let's put that up. So that's not looking too bad. So that red blue fringing is gone now, and that's not looking too bad. Okay, we'll turn off, we'll capture in the debayered mode, right, and we'll do that. And oh, my poor camera, absolutely astonished. I've just made a video about dew control and here I am having forgotten to put my own dew heaters in, wondering, oh that's nice and warm though, So yeah, putting my hand on the dew heater, so hopefully you'll start appearing again, or I'll start appearing again in a few minutes when that dew's evaporated away. I can't believe that I am such a wally. I completely forgot to use the cutout button. Right, focus again. And I go through focus, out the other side. I'm just looking, trying to see the fine details. Let's do that. We've got cutout ticked. We've got the histogram in the right place. Yeah, 70%. Let's press capture. And then the frames will only be that size. And that's a good thing about the cutout, is that of course it's still, although you can see the whole frame, the whole field of view, it's only recording that little bit in the middle. Right, so there's Saturn again. Oh, and Jupiter's just started appearing as well. Right, let's record. So as you can see, the lens has slowly defrosted. You can still see the bits around the outside. But what I'm going to do now is, we've lost Saturn, obviously we've lost Saturn behind the tree, so we'll switch across now to Jupiter. Go to. Telescope now swings into action, and you can see how much higher Jupiter is just by how much the telescope moves up. Right, let's get this centered. More by luck than by judgment, actually I've got Jupiter already on the chip, and that was just from using the finder scope. It doesn't often happen that way, so that's reducing the exposure down. Put you onto the colour mode. Looks like there's a little bit of a great red spot there. Well, that's a stroke of that, Jupiter and the great red spot. So yeah, so you can just see the great red spot on Jupiter from a garden observatory in England before I go and have my tea. So right, let's put the ADC settings on. Oh, we're not far off. That isn't bad at all, is it? Just going to have a quick play with the ADC settings. Let's reduce them down a little bit. Let's try about there. Make sure they're equal. Move Jupiter back towards the centre. That does look better, doesn't it? I can't see any fringing. The red and the blue are as near as we're going to get it with poor seeing. And we have a great red spot, and my lens isn't fogged over anymore, well, only the edges are. Right, so we'll leave that as it is. Camera's good, let's go and do some captures. So we'll turn you off, we'll use the cutout. Okay, that. So this is brilliant. Here I am sitting in the observatory, and I can see Jupiter and the great red spot. We've already had a look at Saturn. Beautiful night. So coming up to a minute now. A little bit of mist or something coming in because the histogram suddenly dropped down 60%, so it's often a sign of different transparency coming in. I do like that view. That is nice, isn't it, with the great red spot down there. Oh, and I do believe, there's no chance you'll see this, but let's try anyway, there is a space station going past. Oh no, it's not a space station, it's a satellite flare. I thought it was a space station, but it wasn't. It must have just been a satellite flaring. So there we go, we've cleared the camera lens off now. My apologies for the complete mess up that was. I've just been speaking to Tim at Dew Control to then go and cock up my own camera settings. So we're just doing our last Jupiter capture. I'm going to go and take a break now and go in, but it's really nice and clear. Telescope still tracking Jupiter and the great red spot in the eyepiece. So of all the things I can see in the night sky, from distant galaxies, the moon, the planets, and I think it is planets that I enjoy looking at the most. I love sketching the deep sky, I love exploring the moon, but I love the fact that planets, they're always changing and evolving as they physically orbit around the sun. You know, that angle changes, surface features come and go. I've had loads of good fun nights, but I've had one night this whole Jupiter season where the seeing has been excellent. I'll stop recording and go for my tea. So I've just had tea. Thank you very much to Mrs. Radici for cooking tea while I've been playing in the shed. And the next thing to do is I've just swung across towards Neptune. So what I do is use Sky Safari. I think I found where it is in the Finder, and that's why I've turned all the lights off, so I'm just on dim red light at the moment. Look through the Finder, so I got it in the Finder scope. Check the eyepiece. And you've just got this tiny, tiny, tiny little disc. At first glance it looks like a star, but two things give it away. One, it's a tiny little bit bigger than the star, but not by much. And secondly, it's quite a strong blue colour. Okay, so if I look across to the screen... Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, yes! Let's go down. So small movements, small movements. There we have a Neptune. That's better. That's got rid of the RGB difference. Right, let's try capturing that. Let's turn you off. Put the cutter back on and press OK. Right. I'll finish my tea and we will wait another 5 minutes for that to finish then. So Neptune, unfortunately, is just disappearing into the Ceres. There's a little Ceres-y bank, cloud bank going past. You can just see it just there as it disappears. Let's just move you back up so we don't lose you if the cloud does clear. Right, so what I've done is stacked the most recent one. Go File, Open. So what I deliberately didn't use the cutout on this one, but we'll put some APs there. And we've stacked 100, quarter 129, or stack, just the best 100 to give. Whiz on through. Now because Neptune is so tiny, and because the seeing is not the best, a very gentle sharpening. Let's have a look at this then. There we go. Anyway, right, well, let's save that then, and I'll just call that linked wavelets, oops, wavelets, and then we'll go into Photoshop, so File, Open, and there it is, linked wavelets. That's what we had a look at before. So there's Neptune when the link opens. There it is. So there's the bluey disk, which is pretty cool. We're 4 billion kilometers away into the outer solar system. If I get the levels up, slide it all the way down to there. There's Triton. That is the moon of Neptune. So not only have we got Jupiter in the Great Red Spot, Saturn, we've done Neptune and the and its moon as well. So we caught the moon of Neptune at the edge of the solar system, 4 billion kilometers away, which is pretty cool. So we've done Neptune. We've caught the faint moon Triton as well, hidden in the data, that just dim glow. It's incredible. I can't remember what it is, from like magnitude 14, 15. So we're going to move north up the sky now, up into Aries. Is it Aries? Yes, Aries, to the planet Uranus. So let's go to. Oh, we're going to do a meridian flip, which is always really exciting because I've got to swap cables around. So we've just done our meridian flip. I'm now going to use Sky Safari. So So I'm now going to star hop my way to the planet Uranus. And at least Uranus is magnitude 6, so it's far easier than Neptune to find. And of course, but I still got that same challenge of trying to centre it on the chip. Star with a tiny little disc, yes. So I'm going to switch over to Uranus, which is there. Maximize that. And with luck, there she is. Oh, this is brilliant. So we've seen Jupiter, Saturn, the Great Red Spot, Neptune, Triton. Now got Uranus in the eyepiece. We've still got Ceres and the Moon to do as well. So it's a really pretty night. Orion's over there. Pleiades up above. Not a breath of wind, but yeah. So as you can see, I've got my woolly hat on now. 2 layers, thick trousers on as well. So nice and warm. I've got to put my gloves on a little bit though. Right. That's that. Beautiful, look at that beautiful colour. Look at that, that is quite pretty. That's obviously rubbish. That looks pretty good. Turn the colour off and let's just go for it. Yeah, lots of little bands of Ceres. Nothing too much to worry about, but let's get this captured. Hopefully capture the moons as well, so I'm going to be going for dizzy heights of 6 frames per second now. And another train goes past. Right. So I've just done the planetary stack on Uranus. I've stacked 500 frames of the 1000. I'll plonk it in a Registax. Got this nice, really attractive blue disc, and then let's open that up in Photoshop. File open. So there we've got this black background and a beautiful blue-green. And again, if we slide that slider all the way down to there, a little bit further, we start to see 1 moon, 2, 3, 4 moons. So it's a little zigzag here and one off by itself. And if I reach around for my phone, open up Sky Safari again, I can actually see which moon is which. The one on the left is Oberon, Ariel, Umbriel, yeah, and Titania. And then Miranda is somewhere in there. Out there, so it's always lost in the glare. I've never actually managed to detect Miranda. It's always too much in the glare. So there we go, we've also caught the moons of Uranus. And I think, having looked over the top of the observatory, the moon's quite high now, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to swing the scope across. So this is going to be impossibly bright. Uranus was really hard to find because it's a star hop and so faint. And now we're going to look at the moon that's so bright it's casting shadows. So let's go and have a look. Solar system, moon, go to. Ooh. So just put my jacket back on again, just getting that little bit of a chill. Let's have a look. There is one very overexposed moon. Let's go down to 5 then. Oh, there. Oh wow, look at that. You can see how dirty my chip is. Ugh. Oh, look at that crater. I do love looking at the moon. Having struggled to see things earlier. Look at that. So things alright tonight, and this sometimes I put the infrared filter in because with the infrared filter you see further into the red where the seeing's better. Well, that doesn't look too bad, does it? Gosh. Often just don't know what to look at on the moon, there's so much stuff to see. That beautiful crater, they call these 4 fractured craters, they've got these central cracks in the middle. Look at that. That's pretty spectacular, isn't it? So there we have it. We've done Saturn, beautiful rings of Saturn, Jupiter and the Great Red Spot, Neptune and the faint moon Triton. We've caught Uranus and 4 of its moons, and now on the Earth's moon as well. So I'll take some video captures and we'll see what they look like. Right, so the last thing we're going to do is use the big binos and hunt for the planet Ceres, which is in the Hyades star cluster next to Aldebaran. So it's actually quite nice having been stuck in front of the laptop and hunting for faint stuff, just to use the nice wide binos. It's got the dew heaters on the front, you can see how wet everything's coming. So I'm going to use the use the star charts in Sky Safari, and I'll do a quick sketch of that as well. So I'll turn the lights off and let my eyes get used to the dark. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to bringing you more videos as we get out and explore the night sky. So I hope you've enjoyed that tour of the solar system, starting off with beautiful Saturn, Jupiter, the Great Red Spot. We've been to Uranus, we've been to Neptune, been around the moon, and I've just finished my sketch of the planet Ceres. So it's been a fantastic night. My battery light is now telling me it's about to run out. My hands are getting pretty cold. Everything's covered in dew. The hard drive's full on the laptop, so I think it's time to pack up. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to bringing you more videos as we get out and explore the night sky.